Hi everyone! Today I have a very interesting topic that you have requested a lot. It is self-love. And self-love, that means everything and anything. Self-love is something that we assume we all should have, and I agree, that's better. But what does that mean exactly? Self-love, I think, is something that we kind of throw at the end of every sentence. And for a lot of people, it does not resonate. It does not mean anything. It's just a vague concept. And for me too, for a long time, self-love wasn't something I could explain with words. One could say that it is how you respect yourself, how you take care of yourself, this in between narcissism and pampering. It can be very tangible, like having a warm bath, and also getting out of a toxic situation, and these are both legit self-love activities. I've always struggled with the term, and whenever something bad happened to me, a lot of people would tell me self-love will magically cure all your problems. With self-love, you wouldn't get involved with a toxic man. With self-love, you wouldn't get in trouble. Basically, self-love will heal everything. And as much as I agree, I think it would be nice to kind of break down what it means exactly, and how can somebody incorporate self-love in a very psychological, tangible, concrete way. So with the years and therapy and research and stuff that I've read, I have come to the conclusion that self-love was in the end something very internal, and that requires a little bit of memory. And I'm going to explain that to you in this video. This is just one tip, one definition for self-love according to me, that resonates with me, that helps me a lot. And we're gonna see how that can be applied to different settings in your life. You should go and love yourself. How do we really do that? Is there a recipe? How do we love ourselves? How do I love myself? I thought for a long time that I loved myself. I thought for a long time that I didn't have any issue with that. And yet I was caught in very bad romantic relationships. And yet I struggled with toxic friendships. And yet I found myself crying because of work situation or feeling anxious, etc., etc. Basically, my actions said that I didn't love myself. It took me a while to actually open my mouth, to stand up for myself, and I was continuously getting involved in situations that were harmful to me. And whenever something bad happens, we always have a little tiny bit of responsibility. I'm not talking about assault, abuse, rape. I'm not talking about that at all. But let's say in the ties, in the bonds with other people, in the field that we study in our job, all of that, we have a choice, we have a responsibility. This is all due to our choices, even though they might be forced by someone else, your family, whoever. You always choose unconsciously or consciously, but the choice is yours. You go in that direction, even though it might be harmful to you. So how do we fix that? The only thing that truly helped me with self-love, put a definition to it, apply some principles in my life, it is reconnect with your inner child. That's it. That's the tip. Do you remember how innocent, how loving, how curious, how brave you were as a child? Do you remember your fears, your struggles? Do you remember when you felt the most broken? Do you remember that immense sadness that you felt as a little child? I want you to sometimes, if you meditate or if you just think about it, try to talk to your inner child, to that kid, to that 4-year-old that didn't know any better, but that was experiencing the world with innocence. And that was possibly betrayed, that was possibly abused, that was not treated the way it should have been. Reconnect with that child and let it speak to you. Try to maybe gather a couple memories that you think are the beginning of maybe years of psychological struggles. Do you remember some memories that really, really hurt you? I know this is maybe not what you expected when you clicked on this video, but I want you to get back to those years. And more specifically, how did you feel when, let's say, maybe a classic example. Let's say you were forgotten at school by one of your parents. They completely forgot to pick you up. Whatever the reasons, that doesn't mean they don't love you. I mean, I was forgotten once, and I still remember it because it means something very important. Doesn't mean your parents didn't love you, but that example of you, a child at daycare, waiting for your parents, everybody's being picked up by their parents, and you are left alone, and you suddenly come to the conclusion that they forgot about you. How could they? What were the first thoughts that came to your mind? I am not loved, I am scared, what am I gonna do if they really forgot me? Am I going to sleep in this weird daycare? Remember all the thoughts that you were having at that time? And then try to understand, try to notice what you needed at that time. Did you need reassurance? Did you need someone to tell you that it's okay, they're coming, I'm sure they did not forget about you, I'm with you, you are not alone, you are safe, you are a cute little child that did not deserve to be forgotten, but it's we have reasons to that. Do you get what I'm trying to say? What did you need at that time? Maybe somebody to tell you that it was okay, that you are not alone. You are not alone. This is exactly what you have to do with anything that happens to you. Self-love is providing to your 4-year-old inside of you what they need. Picture that child that is heartbroken because it's been forgotten. Would you tell them that they deserve it? Would you tell them that it's their fault, that nobody likes them, that they might as well just cry and stay here, maybe die here, I don't know. You know what I mean? How would you help yourself in that situation? What would you need? It's the same thing when it comes to, for example, a romantic bond. Do you wish for that 4-year-old in you to be involved with a toxic person? Do you wish that for them? What do you want for your 4-year-old self? If somebody were talking badly and you were like a second person in the room, and there's your 4-year-old self, and somebody tells them that they're that they're useless, that they don't do anything right, that this and this, that they ask for too much, you name it, how would you react? Would you wish that for that 4-year-old? Would you let that happen to a 4-year-old child? These are all the questions that I want you to ask yourself whenever you find yourself in a bad situation. What would you wish for your 4-year-old self? Would you want them to get involved with somebody that treats them bad? Would you want them to get involved in a job that drains them, that exhausts them, that asks too much from them, when they're already doing whatever they can to satisfy a boss, a partner, a parent, whatever? This is self-love. Self-love is reconnecting with your inner child and providing as an adult for yourself what you would need if you were 4 year old. We are all children that have grown up, but in the end, we're all still at that stage of wanting to be loved, wanting to fit in, wanting to have a family. However it's portrayed, family doesn't have to be blood ties. I say this many times, but it could be friends, could be just a group, a community. We all want to belong, fit in, and be loved, be recognized for our talents, our capacities, who we are, and loved for who we are, basically. If I come back to all the really bad love relationships that I had, or even the friendships that I've had, and I think to myself, am I okay with 4-year-old Mara, a kid that I know all of her fears. I know her dreams. I know what she's capable of. I know how she needs to be treated. Why is she involved in such harmful setting? Why is she there? She does not belong there. And I wish I had noticed that before. I wish these would have been questions that I would have asked myself at the time, because that would have saved me a lot of time. If you provide to yourself as if you were still a child, even if it implies a nap, a good snack, whatever, we're all children. Whenever we find ourselves crying for help, and we are not the ones that provide that help, who is it going to come from? It can also apply to a work situation. For example, you chose a career that was deemed better, more profitable, more suitable for a social class. I don't know. You know, sometimes we are pushed into certain fields. Okay, this jumper is a bit scratchy. Do you remember what were your passions as a kid? What did you spend most of your time doing? When you get older, what did you want to be? You know, all these questions like, what was your dream job? What were your hobbies? What were your favorite things in the world? How come you lost all of that? Who told you that painting was not a suitable career? Who told you that providing for animals was not profitable enough? Who told you that being a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher were the only big three that you had to choose from? When you forget to listen to what's inside, to your inner child, you purposely step away from self-love. You are being violent to yourself because you mute your own dreams, you mute your own voice, you mute your own needs, and in the end you become that bitter adult that gets caught in repetitive situation of harm and hurt, and you don't know how to break that cycle. I'm telling you how to break that cycle. Listen to your inner child. Your inner child, except if you have a psychotic tendency, but then this video is not really of any help, but let alone psychological distress like this, you were not cruel when you were a kid. You just wanted to fit in and you just wanted to be seen. Some kids do a lot of mischief just because they want to be seen. They want to feel the love from their parents. They want to, they feel like they are not heard enough, not recognized enough for who they are. So, but you remember those feelings. You remember why you were mischievous. You remember why you didn't listen to your parents. You remember what was lying under that. What were your fears and what were your dreams? Kids are innocent. We grow up to be shaped with codes and things that are forced on us. But in the beginning, we just want to have friends and be loved by our parents. And then we grow up and we feel hurt, either by close ones or people at school, or there's something wrong. And that's when you start maybe acting different. Maybe that's when the first, oh, they treated me that way, so I'm gonna do the same just so they feel what it feels like to be hurt, or just because I want my power back, so I'm gonna hurt them. But in the beginning, you were just a child that needed to be cared for. Reconnect, go back to those first memories of you, because usually I don't know anybody who hates themselves as a child. We all love to show pictures of ourselves. We all have these words when we see ourselves as kids, that I was so cute at the time. I was, oh, look at me with my little bow or whatever, my little shoes. Oh, look at me, I was doing this. And this is just, we don't say this today, sadly. We have lost this love for ourselves. To me, self-love is just that, just holding the hand of your inner child and guiding them through life. Oh, I don't think that person means well for you. I don't think they want to support you. I don't think they want to be there for you. I think there's something fishy in their behavior. I wouldn't like you to get involved with them. I know you want to. I know you want to feel that high of a passionate relationship. I know that there is a lot of curiosity almost, and you might get, I'm talking to my inner child, you might get a taste of that. But as soon as you start feeling unwell, I'm gonna have to take you out of that situation. We're gonna have to stop, because this is not good for you, and I don't want that for you. This is self-love. When you feel tired, stop. You know, when kids feel a bit angry, tired, we just put them to nap. When kids are hungry, we feed them. That's what I want you to do from now on. Try those exercises of meditating with your inner child, reconnect, talk to yourself. I talk to little Mara more and more these days, and it feels very, very liberating, because I know what I wanted at the time, and these wants and needs haven't changed. I can go into more details with you if you want. I'm gonna do a little story time on my Instagram as well. I love to exchange with you on Instagram. We can talk about it, maybe if you want more precisions or information about that. You can also read about reparenting yourself. There are lots of great articles on the internet. Some I've used, some books also I've come across. They're written in French, but if you want them in your French or you read French, I can link that as well. This will be it. It is super easy, but I swear it makes a huge difference in the choices that you make and in the situations you allow yourself to get involved and how you come out of them. I really hope that you like that. Comment below what you thought about this video and what's your experience with your inner child. Have you ever talked to yourself like this, like a little whatever your name is? I swear it helps. Try it and let me know, and I'll see you in another video. Bisous!